So Ethan, in his fucking what's the word for it? I'm trying to think. Crusade against these people is going absolutely apeshit about this. So he's been suing them, and here we go. It's a crusade.
So let's just go ahead and start with Frogie. Of course, I've got my PP. Now it's the same PP, but I'm going to do it differently and do it kind of special for you guys. So
Frogan gives
this is a very
up.
special PP because it's live. So let's talk about this. Frogan is literally about to default early next week. What has she done with the 50K she raised? We have not heard from her or her attorney at all.
What a flop.
She has like 5 days to respond to our complaint or she loses by default.
She loses.
And this was last night.
Wow.
And this was last night. So it's probably down to 4 days. It's probably down to 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So after this came from Ethan. So this is from Ethan, right? This was the Snarkers. And this is one of the most legally inaccurate takes. That's one of the most legally inaccurate.
Wow, what a surprise. A Redditor doesn't know what they're talking about. Can you believe that?
Takes ever. Okay. This
no
is
way.
Snarkers. Can't wait to see the case.
Ethan with Scorched Earth? It's going to get worse.
Missed after Fro. What is she like? First of all, who calls her Fro? Like when I hear them call her Fro, it sounds like she's Froyo. Okay? Like I can't
that ice
not
cream
think
shit.
That she's frozen yogurt.
Oh.
So let's get into this. After Fro files a motion to quash after being improperly served, this dude is such.
I never, ever eat that. Like there was some like rich white people area that my ex-girlfriend wanted me to go to, and she wanted me to buy her one of them. I refused to even eat a single bite. I would not eat it. I already have ice cream. I don't need another one. I will not.
An idiot. He has all of his money and doesn't know what to do with it. So therefore,
ice cream like a normal
lack
person.
of a lawyer
Tastes gay.
is just taking it from him. LMAO. This is really funny. Okay, well, first of all,
this dude is such an idiot. He has all the money and doesn't know what to do with it. Therefore, his quack of a lawyer. Oh God.
Let's correct the record. All lawyers are greedy, money-sucking.
That's right.
Soulless.
Whenever I heard this is why I wanted to go to law school.
Quacks. No, they're all crazy in a special way. All lawyers are crazy in a special way. But beyond that,
as soon as I realized that,
procedurally inaccurate and completely wrong. And I'm going to explain how this is just completely wrong.
Mm-hmm. You're a quack? No, the reason actually was because I played Magic the Gathering. And my friend Jason knew all the rules so well that he could manipulate the rules to make himself win in disputes where he shouldn't have won. But I couldn't argue against it because I didn't know the rules as well as him. And so I thought that if I could learn the legal code, I could manipulate people in the world in a way that he could manipulate Magic the Gathering, and it would give me an advantage over everybody else. That was the real reason. So it's kind of close. Because if you know the rules to life, then you can use them and abuse them.
First of all, let's explain what a default judgment is. Okay? Default judgment is a court ruling in favor of the plaintiff, typically because the defendant does not file a defense or the defendant doesn't acknowledge the claim.
They don't even know what happened.
You know, if you just want to stick your head in the sand and pretend you don't know what's going on, you're likely going to get a default judgment. Now,
so it's not like it's even going to get thrown out. The only person that's going to get thrown out is Frogan.
There are certain circumstances in which not receiving service is a real thing.
Yeah.
However,
that's why they have to serve you papers.
Ethan Klein has multiple methods. He can, obviously have what we call hand deliveries when you're hand serviced, but there's also service by publication. So you can publish it in a newspaper of general circulation.
That's right.
And that can generally get back and serve a service. And beyond that,
she acknowledged it. She should have never acknowledged it.
All know that Frogan knows about this lawsuit.
Of course.
Like, it's not something that Frogan doesn't know about. It's very public. So it's very clear what's going on here to a judge that Frogan is trying to dodge. Frogan is trying to evade this, over. Right? And
she knows that. Everybody knows that.
This default judgment, this court ruling in favor of the plaintiff, he would win without Frogan ever having a chance to assert defense. So Frogan, even if she gets this default judgment, so even if the court ends up ultimately siding with Ethan Klein and saying, hey, default judgment. And remember, with a default judgment, that isn't a win for Klein. He gets what he wants. So he'll get damages, whatever else
it's
he
like
wants.
If your team quits the game in the middle of a match, you still win the match, but
the video, whatever he wants, he's going to get that by default. It's just, hey, well, this person is not fighting back, so okay. And then he can proceed, if she doesn't do anything, she can proceed to collecting on that judgment at a certain point. However, Frogi Yogi does have a potential opportunity to challenge the default judgment.
Of course.
She does that with an objection to the default judgment, which is a motion to set aside. So she can make a motion to set aside the default judgment. Now, she does need to have a valid excuse, right? So not receiving the claim could be if
you set up a GoFundMe, you talked about it. That is not gonna happen.
If the service, all types of service, were invalid. But I guarantee you that at least one type of service that they used on this, whether it was, hand delivery or publication or some sort of substitute service, was legally sufficient to provide notice of service or sufficient service to proceed with the case.
Well, she already
They're
knew
not going to issue the default judgment typically if there was completely bunk service. But the burden would be on Frogi to prove that. And beyond that,
there's no way she can prove that, especially if he said it and she acknowledged it the entire time.
You'd have to have something like illness or extreme emergency. And as far as we know, in the Frogan case, Frogan is not in the hospital. Frogan is not under extreme emergency. Frogan was not in a crisis zone.
Well, I think that she is. I mean, the rents probably do, and that's not going so well, I would assume. But she does have that extra $35,000, so maybe things will be okay.
She's not somewhere where bad stuff is going down.
Yeah, surely.
Right. And or she'd have to prove a procedural error.
Unless the judge is sympathetic to Frogan. What do you think? Do you think the judges are going to be sympathetic to Frogan?
Right. However, she has to respond to do this. And that response has to be very prompt and persuasive. So she'd have to do that anyways.
Oh, that's good. So she's going to have to go back,
write the court, and explain why she did not respond before, etc. And the judge is not obliged to accept that. The judge can say, I don't accept this. We're still sticking with the default judgment. Now, here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing. And here's where the snarkers are completely wrong. This is where the snarkers just are completely...
Wait, so are you telling me that a bunch of random Redditors with no degree or any sort of knowledge in this topic whatsoever actually don't know what they're talking about? There's no way! This might be the first time that's happened.
Stupid. Is even if Frogi objects to the default, and even if the judge grants her motion, if everything goes the same way, you know what the end result is?
She's paying Ethan money. End result? That's the end result.
It's not the case being dropped, kids. It's the case proceeding as normal.
Man.
So if Frogan goes through all this extra work, all she's going to do
is make it happen anyway.
Have the case proceed as normal. Literally, somebody in the chat said it. Who said it here? Square one. It's back at square one. Congratulations, Frogan. You literally did nothing. You do all this work for freaking nothing. Wow, Queen. Wow. So smart. Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Slay.
Sigma. Right. We're just going crazy here. But let's also talk about the money. So here's our lovely Frogi. And she's got, her legal defense fund at this point at $35,000. She also had other donations from other places. So I believe,
$35,000. That's a lot of money.
Was around $50,000.
Oh, her goal was $200,000 though. Oh, okay. Never mind. Not so good, huh?
Okay. He's tracking this closer than I am. So let's just assume that it's $50,000,
He is.
She's got at least $35,000 here, but she had this legal defense fund. And my concern is, what about the money? What did you do with the cash, Frogan? What did you do with the cash?
Where's the money, Lebowski?
Not spending all that money on your lawsuit. And so the question is, where is that money going, Frogan?
Everybody knows.
Where is that money going, Frogan? Is that going to your muffin budget? Because it's certainly not going into responding to the claims, right? Certainly not going to respond to the claims. And what happens if the funds were diverted to purposes other than the legal defense? That's a possible crime. That's a possible crime.
Well, it's obviously, yeah. I mean, you're raising money for something and then you don't even spend the money on it. Like, yeah, you're misleading people. Absolutely, it's bullshit.
Theft by
not
deception.
Right. It ain't right.
Pretenses, fraud. This is a type of fraud. Also, wire fraud. So we're talking about potential theft or fraud. Did it go?
So what if she raises? Wait a minute. So are we in a universe where if by her raising money for this legal defense, and then she doesn't actually meet it and defend herself, she could actually end up losing 2 court cases at the same time? So for, the Nux Taku video is going to be Frogan is now 200% fucked. And for once he'd be right.
We don't know. And once again, this is speculation.
Yeah.
This is speculation. So out there, let me be very clear.
Nobody knows.
Speculating. It's a question I'm asking. And I don't know. And we need to know, where's the money, Frogan? What are you doing? The other thing is, if she was misdirecting these funds, she could be fined. There can be restitution, right? Meaning the money is returned to the people that donated.
So the money gets returned to everybody. She loses the lawsuit against Ethan, and she also gets in trouble for fraud. Guys, I don't think I can take this much winning.
It can even be prison time. So we need to figure out what's going on with that money.
There's no way.
Last night, this was the language last night. Tell me if she changed this language. Because I highlighted this, and this is what was up last night, as of last night. Okay? So after 2 years of target harassment campaign against me, Ethan Klein has now escalated it into suing me for reacting to his video on Hassan and myself on his video titled Content Nuke Hassan Piker. This fundraiser to cover any and all legal fees associated with this complaint and any counterclaims I have against them. So stop there. So far, she
clearly states what it's for. She says this is what this fundraiser is for.
As we know,
not muffins.
She has not paid any legal fees.
It is not for muffins.
She definitely hasn't filed any counterclaims.
Yes.
So as to these two, they're wrong. Now here's the part where
zero
we
muffins.
Might get into some debate. This next part, the part I underlined, she
Personal
puts
expenses.
any other bills, and personal expenses. So she's going to argue, I can put food under that.
What if she comes back and there's like 50 Labubus behind her?
I can put makeup under that because I need to look pretty for litigation.
Bro,
I can do all this sort of stuff. That's a personal expense. I can pay for like 22 layers of cover up, right?
Yeah.
Under personal expense, because that's a personal expense. But the problem is, and then the rest of the sentence, from lost wages and damages arising from this litigation.
Yes.
Well, the question is, when you have arising from, if you're not participating in the litigation, if you are not fighting back, there's no litigation to speak of. Therefore, it's not arising from.
That is what she's saying. That is what he's right. Fucking got him. Fucking gotcha. There it is. That's grammar. That's right.
Litigation. So despite the fact that personal expenses is here and that might be valid, it's in connection with the litigation. It's not personal expenses for her to go on a personal trip, right? Or her to go buy a sandwich or whatever, Chipotle. It's not for any of that. Okay. So yeah, that is a situation where she may have some trouble. All right, so let's get into denims. Let's go deep on denims. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Even though she's disloyal. Here is this discovery matter. It's an order granting a stipulation for the plaintiff, that's Ethan Klein, he's TED Entertainment, to serve third-party subpoenas prior to Rule 26F conference. So this is literally, remember, as a reminder, disloyal denims literally betrayed the Reddit mods. She stabbed them in the back.
That's right. She roached out on all of them. I forgot all about this.
Refused to defend them at all.
That's right.
She completely sacrificed them to the corn in order to get this moving along.
Sure.
Right? And she gave up all of their information. She said, you know what? You can subpoena them. You can get all their information.
Wow. See, this is what I was saying, bro. When the well runs dry, the people begin to eat each other. And as soon as famine strikes, as soon as there's trouble in paradise, suddenly all of this solidarity instantly disappears, and it's every man for himself.
That's denims. That's the type of girl she is. Once again, this is why these people are going to fold
disloyal
like
denims.
A sack of cards. They have no loyalty for each other. They don't care for each other at all. All of this, we're one big community, we're one big proletariat. That falls apart.
That's exactly what I said.
Falls apart immediately.
Yes.
When push comes to shove.
What a surprise. Wow. What a surprise.
Pushing each other in front of the firing squad. Right.
Bro.
When push comes to shove. They're pushing each other in front of the firing squad.
Oh my God. I love it. It doesn't get better than that.
Right. They're pushing each other in front of the firing squad. And we see this with them.
Unreal. He's cooking. He is.
Completely under the bus. Upon consideration of the joint stipulation, granting plaintiff leave to serve third-party subpoenas prior to the Rule 26F conference of plaintiff TEDx Entertainment, ZF Inc., and defendant Alexandra Marwa Saber, PK Denims. Dirty denims. And for good cause shown, the court hereby rules as follows. The stipulation is granted.
Wow.
TEI, that's Ethan Klein, may immediately serve the subpoena attached as Exhibit A to the stipulation on the third-party Reddit, that's so Reddit in general, accompanied by this order, and shall include the date of the Reddit subpoena. It was issued in the
reminder, before Stalin starved 40 million Christians to death, he executed all the useful idiots that helped him gain power. Hey, Saddam had a great role model. What can I say? Bro, he had the vision.
Data compliance. And they may also serve subpoena on Discord. Uh-oh. Granted by Wesley L. Hugh. Sue, maybe?
I don't know.
A United States District Judge on July 31st. So the point of the matter here is that we have a official subpoena of Discord and Reddit. And Discord and Reddit, I'm telling you right now, and I know this, I have friends that are civil litigators, I've seen this in other cases that we've studied, etc. Discord.
So we have an individual here. The law shouldn't apply to pretty women. Ethan is a twitchy, ugly beast. He's fucking gross. You don't care about this lawsuit. You just hate Jews. So this guy's complaining about Trump and then hating Jews. Why do you hate Jews? LOL. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, I don't know what to say, guys. Well, there it is. Oh my God. And ban and move on. Yeah, I think that's probably the right option. And again, I love how they don't feed the poor. Google it. What does that have to fucking do with anything? Do you think that Ethan has a legit... Let me ask you something before you're getting banned. You're getting banned. You're obviously getting banned. You know you're getting banned. Do you think that Ethan has a legitimate lawsuit on these two individuals? Do you think that he has a lawsuit on them or not? It says no, not at all. Yeah. So you don't really care. You're calling him ugly. You're saying he's a Jew. The law shouldn't apply to pretty women. You are an angry simp. You're an angry simp that hates Jews, that hopefully thinks that now it's popular to hate Jews. And so maybe if I say this, I'll get attention from girls. Sorry, Ricky. Your time is over. You're done. We've had enough of you.
Reddit are going to turn over all the data. They do not care.
See you tomorrow.
They
on
have
your new
no
account.
dog in the fight to defend these people. None. Zero. They do not care. They do not want to fight, want to go into a huge legal battle over fighting the disclosure of information. They're just going to do it. They're going to roll over and do it.
What a surprise.
But then also, because some of your cohorts leaked your Discord messages to us, we have some of your Discord IDs. And guess what? We're gonna if anyone's gonna have your real identity, it's gonna be right there. We're gonna have
that's it. Hold on, let's play this one more time.
Messages to us.
This is something that a lot of people don't understand. If the court wants to find out who was behind an account, they're gonna do it. They're gonna figure it out. And it's probably going to take them about a day. They'll just be like, okay, so where was the account made? All right, so the account was from this IP address. Okay, well, who's the provider of the IP address? Okay, it's this person. Well, I'll just call them up. Okay, well, we've got a court order for this IP address. What's the name and information? Okay, there it is. So they live there? Okay, all right, well, we'll just go over there and see who it is. Yeah. Yep, VPN or not, you're getting a subpoena? Yeah, like, oh, I'm going to use a VPN. I'm secret? No, that's not going to happen.
We have some of your Discord IDs, and guess what? We're gonna if anyone's gonna have your real identity, it's gonna be right there. We're gonna have all your messages, all your messages.
Discord.
And listen, don't try to erase them. If you erase them now, it's not gonna look good.
No, it won't.
You guys remember that? You guys remember what that is? Now, obstruction. It can't be obstruction. It can't be obstruction, but spoliation of evidence.
Yeah.
That is exactly right. That is exactly right. You guys in the class paying attention. So let's continue. Let's play the rest of this.
And you should know that I'll still get them even if you erase them. Because
what do you mean if I erase my message in Discord, they can still see it? Well, I can't see it. It must be gone.
the companies hold.
Yeah, they don't really delete that stuff.
Yeah, and then that
there's like a 30-day preservation or 180-day. It depends on which company it is, but yeah, there's a preservation policy that a lot of these companies have.
And so I'm getting it, you know. So you can erase, you can run, you can cry, you can piss, you can bitch, but I'm coming, and you're about to find out when you what happens when you a stranger. And
It is.
we got to pull
It's
that
so
sound.
censored.
Okay, I will gladly do that.
Great scene. Great scene.
Yeah.
It's
Although
but then
coming.
also,
So the point is that even if they delete it, it's not going to matter.
Yeah,
There are more
I guess
rewrites
not.
of the
We
Epstein-
saw this one yesterday. Yeah, I think this is
So let's-
really fucking funny. And so it looks like they are totally fucking cooked. They know they're cooked. They're afraid. There's the video right there. And let me see if I can find this. What is this here? Karen's docs, Sydney Sweeney. Let me. I'll go back and I'll pull this up in just a second. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to just find it, and then I'll go back to this. I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so wow. If this is actually true, and they don't even respond or try to fight it, and then they hold on to the money, they could actually be looking at 2 lawsuits and potentially imprisonment. I think that they're probably not going to go to jail, as funny as it would be. It's probably not going to happen, but that's really fucking funny for me to see this happen. Yeah, it's hilarious. I'll watch the Meat Canyon video, but not today. And so that's where I'm at. Ethan's going after Bad Empanada. The guy, the dude had this flea for South America. I know. And am I your only viewer that doesn't give a shit about streamer drama? No, I think tons of people don't care about it, and I totally understand that. I like to cover a lot of different stuff and talk about a number of different things. And so, yes, obviously not every single thing will appeal to everybody, but I sure as fuck think this is funny. I'll tell you that. I think it is hilarious that this is happening, and I think it's going to keep getting worse too. So yeah, there you go, guys. Anyway, fucking bro, Andrew has been just on top of this. And the fact that like he's covering it and talking about it, it's so funny the difference between like, you know, these like Reddit echo chambers and an actual person's legal opinion on something. It's a totally different universe, isn't it?